a lot of people have had time to let Elden Ring settle in their soul's Borneo ring digestive system, I thought it was time to ruin everyone's day. In between doing my Elden Ring dance pad run, yes! My Twitch chat and I made a comprehensive list of the top 10 best boss fights in the game. Yes, I had them get involved so you can type angry comments at them instead of me. Anyways, let's get right into the schmeat of it. As always, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and leave a like. Also, feel free to comment your own top 10 list below. Let's go! The egg guy with suspicious lore starts off our tier list of best bosses, and he's always cracked up to be. Mog is a fast-paced fight that includes more intense moments than strikes on his permanent record. Using a giant fork, Mog shows you a river of blood and tears as you fight this hard-hitting boss. Being leveled for this fight is really important to help you take him down. FromSoft took everything badass, raining blood, an amazing soundtrack, and Latin too. Elden Beast. This fight was one of the most HP spongy experiences I have ever had since Meteor. Even when I was doing my Ring Fit challenge run on release with the moon shoes, Rip Hoarfrost Stomp, I could have finished my degree before the fight ended. I know he is very low on the list, but I really think this Attack on Titan worm could have been a lot better of a fight. The arena, music, and concept are pretty cool. The problem really lies on how this fight takes so long to slug through. If this goofball just stayed still, it would make this an alright battle. Until the stars. The Star-Spangled Banner of Pain. Dodging these seems like a hit or a miss, while the rest of his attacks seem to flow pretty well and are satisfying. Other than the slow sword attacks and occasional rise to heaven, the fight is a bit underwhelming for the final boss. Ratagon Phase 2 might have been a cooler replacement for the God of the Ringworm. Come on, furries rejoice. The big doggy baddie makes it into the list at a hot number 8. Phase 1 is the only thing really holding this beast back from easily being top 5. Due to the first part of the fight being a dice roll from hell, you will either have fun or die trying. I have lost so many friends to emo pupper throwing knives, hitting me from around the corners, and absolutely shitting on all my hopes and dreams. Even with the old school Hoarfrost Stomp method, pillars would barely save you from the spikes. Phase 2 is where the fun really begins, baby. When I was helping others through being summoned, even the power of Super Stomp, extreme beams, and amazing skills, oh shit, still couldn't help many people get success early on in the Elden Ring timeline. This fight feels great. Every dodge is rhythmic and makes you feel like an absolute badass. His armor is drippy, and all the spinning kinda reminds me of Dancer from DS3, but he is missing some amazing assets that made her fight truly great. The first roadblock on many an Elden Ring journey, Margate. I remember how frustrated I was with this boss on my very first playthrough. His speed, the late attacks, and quickly changing moveset marked this as the ultimate learning fight. After many attempts, finally getting to halfway felt amazing. Then you were hit with the rough realization there was even more to come. Margate does a great job at teaching you how to really learn the movesets to progress in the game. It feels even better when you go back and see that he wasn't too difficult on multiple playthroughs. Even through RL1 runs or playing on the Ring Fit controller, learning the fundamentals makes this an amazing first required boss. Although I would normally put gimmick bosses pretty low, everything just seems to work here. I'll admit, I was a bit scared to summon on release because I was terrified Twitter and Reddit were going to scream at me, but lore-wise, it seemed pretty obvious that this is what you were supposed to do. Also, do what you want, who cares? Verdon has gathered everyone together for a festival of fisticuffs to rule them all. Badass music, cool summons like this pot guy, and even him riding the My Little Pony with his gravity powers made me laugh the first time I saw it. If you were really against summoning, it's great that this fight can have scaled difficulty. Feel free to hash it out with him horsey-less and without the boys for the additional challenge. Coming into his final phase, it feels like you're in a rush to really bring it home. If you're too slow, the one-shot meteors hit you right in the balls. But once you get your final blow on Verdon, you can actually get a really cool looking armor set from the Fingering Lady. Look at that blowout! Getting into the top 5 is the most amazing dragon fight I have ever played in a video game. Flaccid Sex is ready to rumble. Aside from the great attacks, this fight doesn't really feel like a drawn-out HP sponge most boss fights suffer from. Each phase is engaging and doesn't feel like it's a chore. Out of all the battles in Elden Ring, this one really is the most fair. Most times you get hit, you really know it's your fault and you need to get good. Character design wise, it's really cool that they showed you the one that got away. One head is gone, but three's a crowd anyway. For the first time reaching phase 2, the cost in disappearing on the boss can be a bit confusing, but when you figure it out, rolling in feels great. Midir and this guy in the ring would be a fight night worth watching. Also, they both have lasers, pretty cool. Calm your fingers. I know I technically broke apart a fight that was really supposed to be together. However, I thought Elden Beast was pretty boring in comparison to the true endgame boss, Ratagon. Laying on the rune arc, this arena and cutscene really brought together a great aesthetic fit for one of the final fights of the game. They really put their whole from Mussy into this, and I was not disappointed. Every thud of his weapon on the ground and shattering of beautiful gold effects is really pleasing on the eyes. But you know what isn't? That horrible flashbang on the beginning fog wall. After all these patch notes, they didn't want to fix that. Even when he dies, Ratagon is sent away with the pling plong of honor. Speed is one of the first reasons this fight is actually pretty fun. I remember getting so lost in the fight, I wasn't even focused on the health bar. Many a mimic tier was sacrificed to the sky on release, and they will not be forgotten. Be careful who you call ugly in middle school. Margate comes back with even more up his sleeve. Bringing back an already really rememberable early game boss and giving him a tune-up really came off as a smart design choice. I think implementing an even faster and cooler version of Margaret shows how far you've come since the beginning of your adventure. Although seemingly random at first, each attack feels good. This fight, although not as cool as the final 2 entries on the list, was what it should be: fun. Dodging is rewarding, and trying to find an opening each hit makes them well earned. Seeing his decrepit 25-year-old body on the floor feels so much better when you've earned it. We had a lot of debate in my chat leading up to these final bosses on the list. However, this WWE Slammer Ultra Chad, Godfrey, really seemed to be a fan favorite. The foreshadowing of his fight earlier in the game made meeting the legend himself even cooler. I think comparing him to the rest of the game, Godfrey really has the smoothest animations out of the bunch. This adds to how great the fight looks, but also to how it feels. He really is a cinematic experience for swole boy enjoyers and gamers alike. Even his phase 2 holds up to the really great start he had. Even cooler attacks, animations, and slams add to the heat of an already amazing battle. Also, he has a cool roar if it adds to it. Getting hit by an attack never feels good, but his are just so badass that you can't even get mad. And once he is finally defeated, he's actually a pretty coolio dude. He thanks you for the tussle and doesn't even Xbox mic rage. Also, it says the man, the myth, the legend felled. Nice. As we approach number 1, I would like to make some honorable mentions for fights that didn't exactly make the list but should be recognized. Rykard the Snake Dude has the best voice actor in the game.
Together we will devour the very god.
And Renalis for the Pixar Mom fans. Look at those size 15 grippers, by the way.
Put those grippers away!
After many arguments, chat helps me put Millennia as the number 1 boss of Elden Ring. She is among one of the most memorable FromSoft bosses, even if you didn't get the chance to bring in Let Me Solo her. Even through Waterfowl, one of the most intense moves in Elden Ring. With enough tries, you too can feel the satisfaction of beating Millennia. Or so you thought. Round 2 is extremely intense, but for me, I felt like there was really a lot more openings to do damage. Make sure you dodge her initial attack, as it'll completely one-shot you. The butterfly particle effects and FromSoft Booba really add to the experience and make this a beautifully difficult tussle. Now that we're winding down a bit, I would like to thank you, yes you, for watching. As always, I really appreciated it and would love for you to subscribe and check out my stream where I'm currently doing a dance pad run. See you next time. Bye bye!